Let's bring in Rick Stroud. He covers the Buccaneers for the Tampa Bay Times and host of Sports Day Tampa Bay podcast. Thanks for joining us. Where do we stand with this story?
Well, I mean, if you talk to Jason Light, you talk to Bruce Arians, any of the coaches, they think that it hasn't happened yet. They think it's possible that he could retire. I mean, they were hurt by all this, coming out the way it did. They sort of said the media jumped the gun a little bit. Eventually, Tom Brady called Jason Light and told him he wasn't close to making a decision yet. But come on now, we just watched his whole career funeral over the weekend. I don't know if you can come back from that one. I keep watching, highlights of Tom Brady. So I'd like to announce my retirement on the Dan Patrick Show as a guest if it's over. It's this will be it. I'll see you a year from now when they get the first overall pick. But no, I expect it to happen. But Dan, this too. Really, it started Friday night with Jason La Canfora and the report on CBS, and it kind of stayed out there for 20 hours. And we made our calls, and they were like, And then everybody became Jason La Confirma at that point because we had to see if this was really happening. And when you hear Adam Schefter go, according to my sources, I believe Tom Brady will. At that point, you're just like, okay, it's really happening now. So I think we're going to see it happen, but I think it's going to be like a Gotham Chopra, beautifully directed family in tow in Costa Rica planting trees. It's going to be something that's going to be Tom Brady-esque, right? I mean, this guy is like the Truman Show sometimes.
I think it's going to happen after the Super Bowl. I was told yesterday and on Saturday that Tom wants to control this. Like they want to do it in a way that, Tom's social media has been unbelievable since he went to Tampa Bay. You don't want to have it like spill out where you got the conference title games the next day. I mean, that's just not Brady's style. Do I think he's going to retire? I do. I just think it was more of the semantics of this, that it's going to happen. It's just not happening in real time. Do you buy into that timeline?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there is a week between, the Super Bowl, so it's possible with the news out, it could happen anytime really this week. He might wait until afterwards. I think it's probably going to be sooner than later. I mean, the Bucs aren't, dying to know if the answer is I'm leaving, but they've got to move on too. But it's, I just think that this is going to force his hand a little sooner than he wanted it to be. And it's, you're right. He wants to control this. There's nobody going to tell him when or how he's going to do this. So he'll do it on his own time. But now that the news is out, it's probably coming soon.
But I don't know if you're giving Buccaneer fans false hope here. Like, is he?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I mean, he could be. Look, there's probably, why not cling to the fairy tale, right? I mean, look, these 2 years, I've said it was like a meteor streaking across the sky. It got bright, and there was Super Bowls, and there was playoff games and all of that. And, I wrote before the wild card game and I quoted Clyde Christensen saying, if I was a fan, I'd look at this as like, this might be the last time we see Tom Brady. But no, I'm not giving him false hope. I mean, I trust the guy. Look, the way this works, Dan, this in the media. I broke a story years ago about Bill Parcells having a deal with the Bucs before Tony Dungy coached his last game. Well, I won't say who it was. There's a guy that sat next to Bill Parcells at the mothership that knew this for weeks, but he couldn't report it because he was going to get the exclusive and somebody else reported it instead. Now, what do you do if you know it's true? So, I'm not alleging conspiracy here, but I think that there's probably a better than average chance that somebody knew something ahead of time. And once it was out there, it's like, well, not only is this out there, but it's true. So what do we do now? And the media couldn't wait at that point.
But is there money attached to this decision by waiting?
No.
No money. There was mixed reports about that.
Yeah, that came out. They did some things with the contract and they deferred a signing bonus until February 4th, which is like this Friday, I think. And really, if he retires, he owes them a little bit more money than they owe him. I think it's like $16 million goes back and $15 million comes to him. So I don't expect there to be a change of money. I've checked with the Bucs. They would push that back as far as they wanted to. If he wants a check, if they want to forgive it, whatever. But that is absolutely not. I know it was out there, but that's actually not a factor as why he's waiting. That sort of made him look kind of petty and greedy, and that's just not true.
What are the Bucs going to do at quarterback?
Oh man,
Jameis
well,
Winston, here you go. Come on.
hey, he's right down the road. Yeah, he's right down the road in Oldsmar. Right now all they have is Kyle Trask under contract, and I suppose you could re-sign Blaine Gabbert if you wanted to, and he could be the bridge quarterback. But look, Bruce Arians has said they will look behind door number 2. That's how they found Tom Brady. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be standing there because the Green Bay Packers aren't trading him to an NFC team. Same with Russell Wilson. Can you pry a Derek Carr? Do you take a chance on a Deshaun? Well, I don't know. Maybe Andrew Luck wants to come back at age 32. They will look under every rock and bush they can. But the fact is that there's just not a lot of options right now, and they'll have to pay quite a premium of draft picks if they're going to do it. This is not a free agent class that they can really tap into like they did with Tom.
Byron Leftwich want the Jacksonville job?
I think he does, but I think he doesn't want it with Trent Baalke. And I have not spoken to Byron. This is just my opinion. There were some reports about Adrian Wilson coming over from the Cardinals. Look, the last 3 or 4 teams Baalke has been a part of, they fired their coach after 1 year. So, I've talked to Byron before the season about coaching. He's definitely wants to be a head coach, but he has no timetable. He was an NFL quarterback, has plenty of money. He's going to pick the right situation for him. And I guess New Orleans has him as a candidate as well. It makes so much sense. That means the Jacksonville Jaguars will screw this up completely and not hire Byron Leftwich.
Bruce Arians going to stay as head coach in Tampa?
He's told me several times he is. I know everybody thinks that he would leave. I guess anything's possible, but I asked him, with or without Brady, and he said, no, he's absolutely coaching. And if he gets Todd Bowles and Byron back, he can have the same process. He's already said that if Brady came back and he were to lose Byron Leftwich, he would actually call plays again, which is news, right? And probably a signal to Tom Brady. But I do think he'll coach again at least next year.
Rick, great to talk to you as always, and we'll wait for some more drama down there. Do you think that Gronk is done in Tampa?
As soon as he can get that USA insurance, he is just waiting for that, and then he'll retire.
I feel bad for Gronk. He's trying to disguise his voice, and maybe he joins the military. Rick, then you could get that insurance.
Exactly. No, I think his future or lack thereof is probably tied to Tom's. He's not played for another quarterback, and they'll miss him a lot, man. I'll miss him a lot. That's for sure.
Thank you. We appreciate your time as always, Rick.
Thank you.
That's Rick Stroud. He covers the Buccaneers for the Tampa Bay Times, host of Sports Day Tampa Bay.